Get in the game with the college-branded Venmo debit card. Wreck your team with every tap and earn up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash, a new rewards program from Venmo. No monthly fee, no minimum balance. Just school pride and spending power. Get in the game and sign up for the Venmo debit card at venmo.com/collegecard. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Select schools available. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
5 a.m. I'm up with a crisp Celsius energy drink. Running 12 miles today. Grab a green juice, quick change, and head to work. Meetings, workshops. One more Celsius, no slowing down. Working late, but obviously still meeting the girls for a little dancing. Celsius. Live, fit, go. Grab a cold, refreshing Celsius at your local retailer or locate now at Celsius.com.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, Stephen Wallis. In this episode, I bring you a featured excerpt from episode 405, where I spoke with James Williams, head coach of the Cambridgeshire men's team and head of the Cambridgeshire Performance Pathway, about the club game in Cambridgeshire. In this segment, we focus on the part of our conversation relating to Wisbech, with James giving a candid assessment of the club game in the county and sharing the latest from his own club, both on and off the field. For those with an interest in cricket in and around Wisbech, this is a chance to hear that section of the discussion in full. We begin with James giving his view on the current state of the club game in Cambridgeshire. Here's that excerpt from episode 405. Turning more local and towards Wisbech, before I just direct questions about Wisbech, how would you describe the state of club cricket in Cambridgeshire?
It's a great question. I think we're at a bit of a turning point. I think there's clubs that are struggling. There's, depending on where you are in the county, I think there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of leagues. And teams are dropping out left, right, and centre in league cricket, and it's a real shame. And it's how can we promote Cambridgeshire league cricket better? How can we create, an environment where people want to play week in, week out, like I did when I first started playing. Seasons are long, games are long. It's a tough sell for people. Junior. I have this argument with people: what sort of cricket do kids play at school, at club, at junior level? They played T20 cricket. So they're all done within 3-4 hours. Then all of a sudden we're asking them to go travel an hour or so away for a 45, 50 over game. I think particularly down the lower leagues, I think we could afford to probably shorten games and try and promote, a bit more inclusion, get more people through the door, starting to build a bit like junior cricket. From my perspective, lower down, let's build the base up, let's get people in, let's get people playing cricket, and then hopefully they'll progress through the leagues and progress through teams. The better players would always want to play a longer format. They'll go play in your Division 1s, your EAPLs and CCA 1s, whatever it may be. But I think we need to start looking at how we can get more people playing league cricket, because I think there are clubs that are really struggling to get people in the door.
It's not just a legacy of COVID, then it is a society problem, and presumably other counties having the same experiences.
Yeah, obviously from a work perspective, we don't grab hold of the leagues. It's run by privately, not privately, but we kind of oversee it and support them the best that we can. So they're in a better position to understand what other leagues are looking like across the country. But I'd be really surprised if, particularly counties like ours aren't struggling in the same way. Trying to get people to play, commit to 18, 20 weekends in the summer, when you've got families, or, travel an hour and a half to go play a 40 over game. It's not always the best sell for some people.
No, it's interesting because my generation and generations before, we didn't sort of blink an eye at playing Saturday and Sunday, and I know married guys who did exactly the same, and the wife stayed at home and they went play cricket, and they left early and came home late and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but life has changed.
That's the position. yeah, that's the position that I'm in. Got a young family, and going away, leaving at 8, half 7, 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, not coming back till 7, 8. It's a real hard sell. I think Sunday cricket, Sunday league cricket, it's nowhere near what it used to be. We used to play at Wisbech, we'd play in the Rutland League, and it'd almost be as strong, if not stronger, than what your Saturday league cricket was. But now, we don't have a team on a Sunday anymore at Wisbech just because we can't get the people that want to commit, which is a shame because it's a great opportunity for those second team players to play at a good level, or people that want to have a good run out on a Sunday. But it's not like how it used to be.
No, turning into Wisbech, you're playing again this season.
I am playing again this season. I am. I am. Captaincy is still up for debate. AGM is still to be held, but at the minute it looks like I will be skippering again this year.
So how many years have you now been captain of Wisbech?
Oh, this will be my 6th year of my second stint. I did 3 years before that. 2.5, I suppose, because as I mentioned previously, I had a shoulder operation which took me out for half a season. So that was in 2011. So that was when I first started captaining Wisbech.
So mid-table last year in the Cambs and Hunts Premier League. What are your prospects? I saw on Instagram the other day you've signed a new player.
Yeah, we've made a couple of signings. We've obviously lost a couple. We've lost Josh Bowers and Josh Porter. They've gone to go play some EAPL cricket, which fair play to them. They want to go play that next level up. So we've had to recruit. We're still looking to recruit. Yeah, I think it'd be tough. You lose 2 good players like that. It's going to be a huge loss to you. But we've still got a lot of talent. Young talent and the older talent in the squad to hopefully we'll have a decent season.
Yeah, on the subject of older talent, ex-Cambridgeshire star Gary Freer still playing?
Still playing, still keen. We were having a conversation last week, actually. Yeah, last week, about retirement and stuff. And we both said, I don't know what I'd do if we didn't have that kind of change room environment, that banter that you have with the lads and playing cricket on a Saturday. It'd be a huge loss. So we're going to keep going just for now.
I think everyone misses that. That's the one thing you miss in the end is the characters in the dressing room, playing with people you're familiar with.
Absolutely. And we're at a stage, the guys who've gone over to go play down and in the East Anglian Premier League, they're still young lads. They want to play Premier League cricket. For me now, it's about playing with my mates, and it's always been about playing with my mates. That's why I've always stayed at Wisbech. Same with Gary, same with a few of the other guys. We've always played there. No matter what level you're playing, if you're playing with your mates and enjoying your cricket, you're going to play good cricket. So that's the big thing for me.
And club-wise, is the aim still one day to get back into the East Anglian Premier League? It might seem a long way off at the moment, but still, as a club, that's where you want to be heading to.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some talented youngsters. We've lost a lot of talented youngsters since then because they've had the taste of EAPL cricket or that next level of cricket. And fair play to them. So yeah, ultimately, we've got a brand spanking new pavilion that's ready in a few months. New nets come in. All these new facilities. We want to be able to play at the best level that we can and offer the best facilities we can to our members. So, I certainly won't be part of that next EAPL journey. But we want to make sure the club's in a good position for those that get in there next.
For listeners, you played in the EAPL in 2023, wasn't it right?
Yeah, 2023. It certainly wasn't on the radar at the start of the year. We thought we'd have a good chance of winning it, and we obviously, myself and Gary and Josh and a few other lads, we've obviously talked about it. We've been fighting for it to get up there for a number of years, and it's probably a little bit later on in the day than what myself and Gary were hoping. But it was a great experience. We loved it. I certainly loved it, going to different grounds, playing against some incredible players, and challenging yourself. And that's a little bit why I always loved playing for Cambridgeshire. It was that next level, testing yourself out against the best players around, and that's certainly what we enjoyed when we went into the APL.
Just going back to the new pavilion, how close are you to having it built?
So I saw yesterday the roof trusses arrived yesterday. So the roof's going on next week, apparently. So we're getting close to being watertight. And the plan is still for start to mid-June pavilion to be ready for us. So,
And how different will that be to the previous pavilion? What facilities have you got inside?
it's on the same kind of footprint. It's a bit bigger. It's a lot bigger actually. Looking at it when I saw it last week, bigger bar area, bigger change room, more change rooms. Obviously, we had a bungalow on one side of the pavilion. That's now not there. That's going to be another set of change rooms. A bigger communal area. It's just going to be far more modern. The other place was a little bit run down, bless it, but it was a great place to kind of play and call home. But yeah, this new pavilion looks all singing, all dancing, and it looks, when it's done, I think it will be very impressive.
But having the infrastructure, the facilities, the ground is all key to attracting players and hopefully one day getting Wisbech back into the East Anglian Premier League.
Yeah, it is. We hope that it's a tough sell to try. I found that out most summers or winters trying to get people to come and play for you. With the amount of money flying around in club cricket, it's hard to promote your club and try and get people to come over and play. But I think you like to think we've got a great ground, a great wicket, a great community feel in the club, and now we're going to have all these facilities, a brand new home with new nets and new sight screens, new covers, and everything in the future. We hope that kind of attracts people to come and play, because in the area that we are, it's not the easiest to come and promote. So yeah, hopefully we can get a few more people in and we can start building again.
Thanks for listening to The Paddock and the Pavilion, the only podcast that covers horse racing and cricket. If you enjoyed this episode, you can discover more than 400 others on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or on our YouTube channel.
President Barack Obama.
Virginia, we are counting on you. Republicans want to steal enough seats in Congress to rig the next election and wield unchecked power for 2 more years. But you can stop them by voting yes by April 21st. Help put our elections back on a level playing field and let voters decide, not politicians. Vote yes by April 21st.
Paid for by Virginians for Fair Elections.